Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Three DFS Show! Thanksgiving edition, you turkey-eating sons of bitches. What is up? I am Al Walsh. You can follow me on Twitter right there at AlWalshDFS. Go to the website too if you like fantasy basketball, because that's certainly what's up nowadays. I am joined by two men from the bottom of the Mason-Dixon line, but one's way further than that. We got Adam Wagner from the ATX. We got Chris Sweet from Maryland. What's going on, fellas?
Al, how's it been, fella? How's it been?
Not bad, not bad. I got a haircut today, so if I start itching all over the joint, I don't have AIDS or chicken pox. It's, it's just haircut.
I've been sniffing a lot, so I mean, I got a nice.
Oh yeah, and you're not sharing. And you're not sharing with anybody
because of blow. It is not because I swear to God, gave that up years ago. Actually, never really tried it, but oh well. I didn't like how it smelled.
I'm just saying, you're not sharing with anybody. That's messed up. Sweet, what's going on there on the Mason-Dixon borderline?
What's happening, fellas? And hey, Al, don't let anyone ever tell you the haircuttery doesn't do a good job, because you look great, man.
Thank you.
Is that where you went? You go to haircuttery?
No, I didn't go to Supercuts. I can't even tell you where I went. I couldn't even read the sign. I couldn't even read the sign on the place that I went to today.
That's when you know it's good, man. That's when you know it's good.
I got old Espanol up.
Oh, okay, I like that.
I mean, because I was gonna say, who doesn't want to get all Espanoled up for Thanksgiving? That's what's up.
Vato. Yeah, Vato.
Yeah, downtown Frederick, we have Ryan's Crispy Cuts. I haven't ever gone in there yet, but maybe one of these days, if I have a few too many of these PBRs, I'll wander on down in there and get the lines in the side of my head.
And I told you, I'm coming straight out of Compton with iced tea today, so we're good.
I mean, this is kind of like the trend here the past couple of weeks.
Right.
The three of us, we always got something drinking.
Right.
So, I mean, when we do get picked up, we're probably going to have to clean this up. But while we're doing this, man, we're going to have a fun time with it. And,
man.
What's normally in my cup is some Austin Beer Works. However, tonight is a vanilla porter, and it's so damn good. But not to threat everybody not to fret whatever or fear. Y'all dudes that like, Austin Beer Works and dark beer, well, they got an oatmeal stout coming out in December, man, and it's gonna be banging. It's called Sputnik.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to taste it, man.
Is that the Leinenkugel vanilla porter?
No, this is not. I actually do not know what it was called. My wife picked it up.
Breckenridge?
From she was either at World Market or one of those organic.
Whole Foods?
Yeah.
Well, I'm drinking the hipster beer of choice here a few years ago, the PBR. I'm just basically pretending. I'm just pretending that I'm down on Market Street in Frederick with everyone else drinking the $1 because guys, basically we're doing Drinksgiving the way I'd rather do with my two best DFS friends, talking some football, comfort of our own homes. Can't get better than that. We're going to get a little better sleep than everyone else, and we're still going to eat a big-ass meal turkey and hopefully win money playing DFS tomorrow.
Now, if you didn't read my article today on alwalshdfs.com, which you can see right there, I talk in the opening about how I don't really like to get too drunk the night or here on Thanksgiving Eve. I like to wait until actual Thanksgiving Day. It just works out better that way. I don't like to be hovering over my Thanksgiving plate like I like to enjoy it, and then I'll hover over the couch or the coffee table or whatever it may be. But I like to enjoy my Thanksgiving. I've learned from years past.
It's called growing up.
That too. But I just didn't want to put it like that. You don't have to put it like that.
Well, yeah, you're transferring from social.
It's like that though.
We're transferring from social drinkers to alcoholics. Don't tell anyone that because I don't have a problem. I don't go to classes or anything.
Social
Not anymore. He doesn't go anymore.
All right, let's get into some Thanksgiving football, folks. It's going to be a little bit of a different format than what we're used to each week. So, how we have the lock sleeper wild card segment that we got going on here. What we're going to do this week is we're going to do our locks. How we usually do 2 picks? Well, guess what? That first pick, it's going to be Thanksgiving, and then we'll transition to Sunday all in one shot. So you get all your information. What I like about it is if you watch this on Thursday, you can see how bad we fucked up tonight, or you see how good we did. But I have a feeling we got some good stuff this week.
Well,
so
yeah,
let's
go at this, man. This is gonna be. I'm prepped for Sunday, not Thursday, so I can't wait.
All right. So in that case, let me start it off here with my lock at quarterback for the Thanksgiving session. As we all know, this is Brett Favre night at Lambeau Field here on Thursday. Yes, and you all know my stigma. I like to go cheap with a quarterback here on DraftKings. I'm throwing that out the window this week. Aaron Rodgers, lock of the week here. Listen, I'm not going to be surprised if basically Rodgers and Brett Favre get into a fight at halftime in the tunnel or something like that. Favre's getting the number retired. We all know how much of a dick he was to Rodgers. I think Rodgers kind of sticks it to him here on Thursday night, and I don't know, 5-6 touchdowns, just really puts it on him and dampers his welcome back party.
I see that too, man. I've always thought that Rodgers just held a terrible grudge match against, or not grudge match, but just really hated Favre for sticking around and eating up his time. I mean, he kept his legs fresh, but I mean, Father Time's still going to catch up to him eventually. But yeah, I mean, if there's anything that Rodgers wants to do, it's show Brett Favre up and let the emotions play with the champ, and he's going to take over, man. I'm telling you. He's going to put that belt on a couple of times. Watch. He's probably going to get 2 touchdowns rushing because Favre used to be known as the scrambler and the gun. So he's going to have to show him up even more on his night, man. Yeah, Favre, nice yellow jacket. I'm still wearing the Green Bay yellow. That's exactly what he's saying.
I wonder if Rodgers can borrow Ocho Cinco's makeshift Hall of Fame jacket for this one.
I don't know.
He can play with it all game long.
That was great. That was great, man. That was probably one of the best celebrations of all time.
That was good. All right, what do you guys got for locks at quarterback on Thursday?
Well, Thursday, I mean, you gotta have Romo on Thursday night, right? Or on Thanksgiving Thursday.
Midday.
I mean, just because the fact, if you go to the WagnerWire.com, you'll see that Dave Zidek wrote a great piece, or actually it was Dave Zidek that wrote a great piece about the Dallas offense. They got a really good matchup this week. They always play well on Thanksgiving, and not to mention they have to win. It's playoffs right now, and sure enough, December's rolling around. They can maybe squeeze one more game out in November before December. Those December blues start to take Tony Romo down. I really think you gotta go with Romo here, man. He's got to be the gun.
2 points here I got on Dallas. One, I actually predicted them to be 5-11 this year. I didn't think it would be because Romo would be out for the most of the season, but it's interesting how that's coming to fruition. You like that. And then number 2, I know the Vegas line on this game is unbelievable. It has, I believe it started with Dallas as a 1-point favorite, but I think it's now at a pick'em. So I don't know if Vegas is trying to trick everybody because I think there's a lot more smart bettors out there. I'm trying to figure out how to word that, but I think people are well more aware of how Vegas lines work and all that now. And I feel like there was a lot of lines this year where Vegas kind of slipped the rug out from everybody, or from under everybody. So I would say be careful. Don't go putting the whole Thanksgiving fund on Dallas this week because you see that they're favored. But it is an undefeated Carolina team. I think they feel a little disrespected.
Yeah. I'm just saying they have to win, and Carolina, even if they want to stay close, they got to throw the ball. I don't see them running on this Carolina defense, man. It's got to.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Well, take me there.
Sweet. What do you got?
Yeah, man, I gotta agree with Al on Aaron Rodgers as the surefire lock for Thursday night. He's the guy. I mean, I think if you really want to get back at Brett Favre, right before he goes out, you send him a dick pic. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Brett Favre was king of the dick pic there a few years ago. I think that's a good way to get in his head. Right before he goes. But yeah, I think you're right. I think Rodgers is going to have a little extra incentive to put on a good performance and make sure everyone knows this used to be Brett Favre Stadium. This is Aaron Rodgers Stadium now.
Well, is Aaron going to get he's got to get a street sign up there sometime, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, he's got himself a ring though, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little Ace Ventura for the people, more or less.
Got one.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, that's going to be a tremendous atmosphere going on at Lambeau there on Sunday night. And, we're going to talk about a little more about the other quarterbacks that are going on here in this game. But again, Sweet used the perfect word. This is a surefire thing going here with Rodgers. So, I gotta like me some air in here. I'm not taking any chances with anybody else because that's exactly what the rest of the quarterbacks on this slate are. If we're talking about a sleeper quarterback, I got to go with the Philly quarterbacks, whether that's going to be Sanchez or whether it's going to be Bradford. Look, we all know how bad these guys got their ass kicked by courtesy of my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Thank you very much. But, this is the Detroit Lions. I'm not impressed by this team. They beat the Raiders last week. Congratulations. Young team on the rise, but not a respectable team by any stretch of the imagination. I've talked about this plenty of times. When a team gets their ass kicked, they come out firing the next week just because they don't want that to happen 2 weeks in a row. It is a little bit of a stretch this week. Just all the reports coming out of Philly that Chip Kelly is basically on his way out of there. You don't know what's going on in that locker room unless you're there. So Eagles as a sleeper quarter. I actually like them to win this game outright against Detroit. But, if we got to go with a sleeper quarterback, I'll take them, but it's Rodgers' day all night, baby.
All right, I can't agree, man. Matt Stafford is one of the – and in this game, the sleeper that I had was Matt Stafford. I mean, he shit the bed last – well, he got 20. He got you 20. But still, he even got a rushing touchdown. But, I mean, that game against Oakland where Carr and Stafford just let everybody down, let me down tremendously, man. That was just a complete anomaly.
They must have had the roof open in Detroit for that one. I don't know what was going on there.
I don't get it, man. This should have been 60 points in that game. You got the over-under with here at 46. Sanchez doesn't get it done. Stafford is the quarterback here in this game for sure. He and Calvin Johnson, Mr. Megatron, they're going to get themselves some turkey, man.
All right.
Detroit, man. You got to go with the historical teams, the traditional teams on Thanksgiving Thursday for sure.
Sweet, what you got here?
Well, if we're going to go with the sleeper, I got to go with the man who shouldn't be a sleeper, but he shouldn't be disrespected anymore. Cam Newton going up against Tony Romo at that 4:30 big matchup. I heard everything you said, Wagner, about Romo, and I do think that's definitely a must-win for Dallas. But I feel like Cam Newton, he is like licking his lips. I don't think most of the country gets to watch him. I think he knows that, and I think he's going to make a statement tomorrow. I think it's going to be a lot like Robert Griffin III a few years ago when he had that monster game on Thanksgiving, and it was basically like, everyone take a look at me. I think we're going to see Cam doing the Superman, in the end zone after they go up 14 in the fourth quarter, and everyone's like, hey, man, stop taking these guys lightly. I think we're going to see another statement game from Cam Newton.
See, I see it different. I see a lot of running the ball for the Carolina Panthers. I see them coming out trying to wear down the Dallas defense. One thing's for sure is they want to keep the defense fresh, and they can't do that while that offensive line is just pounding on them. I think they're going to want to conserve that for the second half. So you'll see a lot of running the ball coming out of Riverboat Ron, so to speak. Look for Cam Newton to explode pretty much in the second half. I see 3 touchdowns coming for him, maybe even a rushing touchdown. But, about 250 through the air, and got to be something else if you got 100 on the ground too, man. But
when you talk about the Carolina running game, a big part of that's definitely Cam Newton. He's the goal line back.
You can see the guy scrambling for a few.
Him or big fat Mike Tolbert.
What's that?
I said him or big fat Mike Tolbert.
Yeah, TD rate.
You can't talk about your old player like that.
Hey, he was my boy, man. I saw him in person catch a 55-yard screen pass for a touchdown at Cleveland. Sorry, Factory of Sadness. All that kind of stuff happens in Cleveland.
It does. All right, so what I did is I completely botched up the whole order of the show. So we'll just go all Thanksgiving picks, and then we'll go all Sunday picks.
Yeah.
All right, so we don't need to do wild cards since we're already there. We have enough variety. But all right, let's just go to locks at running backs. Wags, how you starting off here?
Again, man, I love being on the spot, dude. Here we go.
Sorry.
All right, so running back, it's got to be just taking a look off the sheet here. Got to be Jonathan Stewart, man. Like I said, I really think the Carolina Panthers are going to run the ball, and we'll see, man.
All right, I'm going to piggyback off you, too. That is who I got. Dallas, not too good at all defending running backs this season. I got to get the exact stat up here because it's not very good. They are not dead last year in the NFL, but I believe 27th here for playing with DraftKings points. So definitely like Jonathan Stewart. And that low price, I mean, good gracious almighty, you got to have some of Jonathan Stewart this week.
Yeah, that's the first name that popped off the list when I had to look at it. So, I mean, yeah, it's lacy weather. Don't get me wrong. The season's turning. This is why I gave up a 3rd-round pick to Sweet for Eddie Lacy. Call me crazy, I know, but
you're crazy.
Well, we'll see when I win the title. Eddie Lacy is definitely. This is November, December weather. It's time for him to get busy. He don't need to be healthy. He can eat much more turkey, man. He's gonna need to stay solid and on the ground, dude. He's gonna keep them. He's gonna keep the feet, sticking to the ground in the snow and the wets. Whenever it starts to snow there. Actually, Green Bay's got some games in December that they're on the road, so it's not gonna be that bad. But anyhow, man, like I said, it's gonna be the turf's gonna be all slotted up or whatnot, just all messed up and nasty. It's time for him to turn it on, man. It's Eddie Lacy season.
Shit, Sweet. Who you got?
Well, I thought Wag's lock was Jonathan Stewart, but he just stole my thunder. Eddie Lacy is my lock. I was going to try to, come out of left field here and say, he hasn't been that good, but I'm locking it up.
This is why we need an agenda.
I'm locking it up, Eddie Lacy. That's my lock.
By the way, we did have
4,700.
We had the agenda. I just messed it up. That's my fault. Hey, it's live radio, baby. We gotta roll with the punches. All right.
They still have an agenda, though.
Yeah.
They still have a script they stick to somewhat. I mean, you can tell because every show on ESPN still brings up the same damn thing.
We are.
Tim Tebow is trying out for the Patriots. We don't need no dang agenda. We're all right.
And it's in every show. It's like whatever Mike and Mike starts out with, the Levitard picks up the same thing and starts asking the same questions and bringing that stuff up. Christ, how many times did I hear about Johnny Manziel yesterday? All I want to do is why can't we? Yeah. Perfect point. Why can't we talk about Cam Newton doing great things, feeding 900 kids? No, we got to be negative and talk about Johnny. Johnny Reed.
That doesn't move the needle.
He's partying, man.
Yeah, the thing that cracks me up, it's like, oh my God, a quarterback is out drinking? No shit. No.
What did Joe Namath do? God. Oh my God.
You're not allowed. All right. If I got a sleeper at running back, I got to roll with Theo Riddick in this one. If the game flow plays out like I think it will, where the Eagles are winning this game, I think we get a couple screen passes. Now, here's the deal with Riddick. You're kind of going to have to wait a little bit. He's not exactly an every down kind of back, but there are drives where he'll just have like 7 points on his own just by PPR. That is if you're playing DraftKings or, like a 1-point PPR league. FanDuel, I don't know that I'd recommend playing Riddick, but if we got to pick up whole points for catches, I really like him a lot. So he is a sleeper there at 3,500 on this one. Can open up some things, maybe get you Calvin, maybe get you Dez, however you like your turkey, but definitely a sleeper for sure at running back.
Yeah, I can see it. It's not going to be in my play. I'm not playing any of these guys, actually. I'm not playing any of the Thanksgiving games.
Oh, no?
No, man. I am watching it, enjoying it with my family, and eating and getting fat. Like that I'm dedicated to getting fat tomorrow.
You're crazy. I like you, but you're crazy.
Hey, man. Hey, you're crazy. Nah, man. I want to actually have a traditional holiday. Last year I didn't enjoy it. I was at the dinner table all, the whole time on my phone, not paying attention, not giving any of my family time. So, I'm going to change it up this year. That's
exactly what I plan to do this year. That is my plan to a T.
Well, I'm not, hey, What is it? You're rolling solo or whatever, rolling dirty or whatnot?
I got two little cousins that are like the smartest people in the entire world, and every time I have a conversation with them, I feel dumber. So I might just use the silent method on this year's holiday. So
right on. Yeah,
I gotta keep my sanity, bro. I mean, this is Jersey. There's a lot of crazy shit going on.
I'm staying out of the fantasy. I'm staying out of the fantasy arena for the Thursday games.
Look at this picture behind me. There is definitely a murder going on somewhere behind me right here. You don't see it.
Flatiron building. It's good people there, and you're right next to Chelsea Market. I don't think anybody's gonna get murdered.
No, definitely murder.
You're in Midtown.
That's where. This is kind of like where your boy lives.
Yeah, he lives right there. He lives on 28th and 7th. I can see him. He's in the window. Look, hey.
He's doing the murder.
He's doing it.
All right, any more running backs that we got to get to on the Thanksgiving slate before we move it to the ball catches?
No, man. I don't have any. What about Chris Sweet? Do you have any Chris Sweet?
Yeah, my wild card is actually from the Detroit Lions as well. I'm not doing a sleeper. I'm just going to go wild card on this one.
Right.
It's Amir Abdullah. I think if you want to make some hay in the GPPs, you only got 3 games. Go with someone like Amir Abdullah who could blow up. I think this guy's definitely got talent, and he's starting to get a little more carries there. I mean, it's a bad situation. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but the matchup is good if you saw Al's boy Dougie Martin go for 235 the other day. So.
Yeah, anytime you're in Detroit, anywhere in the city limits of Detroit, it's a bad situation. So, you know.
Anytime you hear Al say he's gonna hate on the Bucks are gonna do some damage.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Absolutely. Oh, there's gonna be an article that I do this week on my site that has Matt Hasselbeck as the cover boy, for sure.
Nice.
For sure, without a doubt. All right, wide receivers. Sweet, you have yet to lead us off. Lead us in this discussion.
I have a feeling this might be a close to consensus. My sleeper's got to be Calvin Johnson in the early game from Matt Stafford. I think this is a good spot for him. The Eagles' defense are 32nd giving fantasy points to the wide receivers, so you got to like that matchup, I think. And that's my dude there. It's got to be Calvin Johnson. I have a feeling he'll be highly owned, but you got to do it.
Yeah, it's Calvin. You got to have you some Calvin.
Yeah.
Wags, we got here receiver.
Yeah,
is it Calvin as well?
So I'm not beating a dead horse, man. I'm going to give you another. I mean, Dez Bryant. I mean, if this guy's Megatron, then Dez Bryant's got to be like Optimus Prime or something. I mean, Dez Bryant can get it done on all accounts. I don't know. I don't think we have seen the Dallas Cowboys offense click, and I think once it's finally, once they're assembled, in which they are, man, it's almost going to be like, here comes another '80s cartoon, Voltron, boom! I think these guys.
Oh man!
I'm telling you, man, they're coming out of everywhere today, baby. I think they can really do some damage to this Carolina Panthers defense. Norman's a great defensive back. We'll see what he's got. He's going to definitely be tested with Dez Bryant. Again, for sure, the consensus is probably Megatron. I wanted to give Dez Bryant some love, man. I really think this guy can come back off of this injury, and these two have to. Tony Romo and Dez Bryant, they have to win. The Detroit Lions, they're not making it. They're playing for their seed. They're playing for pride. But the Dallas Cowboys in that NFC least division, they have a chance to actually win it. The winner is going to the playoffs. That's why they have to win. Look for a big game between Romo and Bryant. I would combo these guys up.
So I just took a look at the Green Bay, Wisconsin weather report because, I saw the raindrops next to the Green Bay Chicago game.
Chance, yep.
More like 94. What do we got here? It's looking. Is that Pacific? Yeah, 100% chance of rain here from 8 o'clock until basically midnight. Whatever. I don't care. Rodgers will put some gloves or some pine tar in his hands. He'll be fine. I
don't know. That's that dampers my thoughts.
Yeah, it does to me too. But again, live TV, we gotta roll. We gotta roll right through the punches. But no, I mean, look, if Rodgers is gonna have the big night, then obviously, he ain't throwing the ball to himself. So 2 locks here. I got Randall Cobb. I got James Jones. hopefully Jesus Christ himself will move this rain away on Brett Favre night and, not make it, the worst night ever, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not my locks, that's for sure.
I'm not going to switch gears here mid-show, so,
I feel you. Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
All right.
I think Dez. To me, man, I just see dollar signs with Dez Bryant in this game.
He does have a tough matchup with Josh Norman, but
tough one, but he can beat it. These are the matchup that Dez Bryant he gets up for, man. I mean, if anybody's going to get up for a matchup, it's Dez Bryant. He has to. His ego won't allow him not to. He's got to do it.
If we got to pay up for a receiver, though, I definitely got Calvin over Dez, with that.
Oh, for sure. I mean, well, the matchups, who are they going to put on? Who are they going to put on Calvin Johnson? Maxwell? No.
Yeah. Hey, Byron Maxwell, how's it going? How's it going, dude?
It ain't happening.
Yeah, I don't think so either. All right, sleepers here for the receiver position.
Well, I mean, I've been sticking with the Dallas Cowboys offense the whole time, man. I think Cole Beasley is going to have a great day too, man. Especially if Norman is going to if they're going to bracket Dez Bryant, look for Cole Beasley and Jason Witten to do some damage over the middle. Cole Beasley is the guy. He's the scat back. He is the Julian Edelman of the Cowboys, so to speak. I mean, this guy can do it all. He reminds me of a Welker, Edelman, type of player. He's the slot wide receiver. So, look for about 4, 5. I mean, he'll be hit more than that. Probably about anywhere from 5 to 8 receptions for Cole Beasley. That's great value in DraftKings. That's a point of reception. And then, tacking on maybe 85 to 100 yards and possibly a touchdown. So it could be a big day for Cole Beasley as a sleeper.
Oh, shout. Sweet, who you got here?
I actually have another receiver from that team as my sleeper, Terrence Williams, because I do subscribe to the fact that Dez Bryant has a tough matchup, and I think they'll do stuff to get Dez open. I don't think he's going to get shut out or anything, but I think Terrence Williams could definitely have a pretty nice day here at a nice price point. He's definitely a good GPP play.
You think we'll see a little bit of Dez in the slot sometimes? I know they like to run him in motion a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely think they will. If he's if he's having trouble with Norman, I think they'll definitely throw him down in the slot. You got to get your best player the ball. I mean, that's no brainer.
Give me the ball. Give me the ball. That's basically what he's going to be saying. If I got a sleeper at receiver, Golden Tate, 4,700 there on DK. Not a bad play to have here. Again, now that we're talking about inclement weather in Green Bay, I just think a guy like Golden Tate would do pretty well. Again, I expect the game flow to be in favor of the Eagles, so definitely look for the Lions to be throwing a lot in this one. Tight end, lock. Are we all in agreement? It's Greg Olsen?
Yeah, Greg Olsen. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think you can play more than 4 players at a time. So, and putting everything into the Dallas Cowboys with Jason Witten would just be insanity. But if it goes off, hell, you're winning $1 million. Jason Witten always puts up numbers on Thanksgiving, Day. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. I don't see Lee, sticking with Greg Olsen. They're gonna have to bracket. They're gonna have to bracket Olsen to get open, or to for him not to get open. I really see Olsen having a good day. Hell, Lee could have a tough time just trying to keep Olsen in front of him, man. I don't see Lee checking Olsen one bit. So, man, yeah, it's hard not to play Olsen here.
Yeah, obviously, and look, you're gonna have a lot of money left over in this entire slate, unless you want to go with Dez and Calvin Johnson. I think Olsen's the way to go. He is the leading receiver for the Panthers, so I definitely want to have some exposure to that. I feel like Stewart and Olsen would be 2 good plays to have there from the Panthers. But yeah, I got to have me some Olsen. I have to. Witten is probably a much better play there on DraftKings just because you get the 1 point per reception. And now his roommate on the road is back, Tony Romo. So, the 2 of them have a very good connection. See what I did there? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not a Cowboy fan at all. But
Nor I.
that could definitely work. I'm going Olsen over Witten, and that's a no-brainer to me. If we're talking about a sleeper, I mean, hell, he's our sleeper every week on a Sunday. But Richard Rodgers, he can definitely get in the mix here. If it's going to be a slow track, bad weather, why not? Throw him a couple passes. Very cheap there. It could be a nice flex play, but I doubt I'm going to have him in my lineup.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near, and I'm nowhere near Ebron either. Ebron, you dropped the touchdown that was dying, killing me, Ebron. Eric Ebron, you're done. You're dead to me, kid.
It happens every week,
Yeah,
I got a whole slew of those guys in the NBA. That ain't nothing new to me. Sweet.
All right. So what we've covered Gobble Day. What are we going on everywhere else?
Almost. Sweet. Any other tight ends besides Olsen or no?
Yeah, screw you, Eric Ebron. Anyways, my guy is, I almost would say he's my lock. I love Brent Selleck tomorrow with Zach Ertz out. He's had 2 really huge games, and no matter who's at quarterback, they don't seem to be finding the wide receivers very good. I mean, we talked about Jordan Matthews like 11 billion times on the show, and he should have been awesome last week. I don't know what the hell is the matter with him, but I like Brent Selleck at a real cheap price. The only problem is, I believe you just brought it up, that you have so much money left over if you do something like that, and then you're like, I'll just take the top guy at every position. You're not going to win by doing that. Like, you think you're going to win, but you're not going to win if you take Dez and Calvin and DeMarco Murray and Greg Olsen. Like, you got to have some of those guys that are lesser. Yeah, and, so I really like Brent Selleck tomorrow. I think I'm going to probably roster him.
All right, and then also defense. You want to go over that real quick? I mean, I got Green Bay. Even with the weather now, that even makes sense. But even Philly too, not a bad option if you want to go that route.
They're all good options if you want to take one of them. I mean.
Also, and again, gonna have money left over, but Dallas there at 2,100, not a bad play, I think either. All right, Sunday slate. That's what we all came here for, right?
Yeah.
Half of us anyway.
I didn't know it was Thursday slate, man. I had no idea.
All right. All right. Why don't you kick us off then with your lock at quarterback for this Sunday?
I'm only giving locks because I have a lock/wild card lock.
Okay.
Both of these guys are wild cards and locks, man. You gotta have. I hope I don't steal anybody's thunder, man. But this is the first time I've actually done
Probably
something.
Probably will.
Brian Hoyer is got to be one of the locks here this week. And if you don't like him, for $400 more, you can spend it on Kirk Cousins. Both these guys just have tremendous matchups. How can you not, dude? Hoyer's going up against the one of the worst defenses out there through the air, which is the New Orleans Saints, allowing 314 yards through the air. Who's that guy that Hoyer throws to? I mean, I think they named some kind of bomb after him or some type like that. What do they call it? What's his name?
Nuke.
Nuke
Hopkins.
Nuke Hopkins? Yeah.
That's him.
These guys are going to just tear this shit. They're going to tear it apart. I'm telling you, boys. You got to have this. You got to have Nuke. You got to have Hoyer in your lineup, and you got to have Cousins, too. Cousins also matching up against those New York Giants. They're just allowing 266 or 261 yards through the air. Could be a big day for the Washington Redskins and led by Kirk Cousins. Like I said, man, I talked about it with Tony Romo. Everybody in the NFC East, they have a shot. They have a legitimate shot to get into the playoffs. But that road goes through the championship and the winner of that division. They have to win out. They have to take the reins as the lead in order to get to that playoff spot. I think Gruden wants to do it. I think he has all the confidence in his team that they can make an actual push for it. Look for the Giants to yield a lot of yards to Kirk Cousins and allow him to have a big day. I really hope that the slide doesn't continue, but after that letdown against the Patriots, I think the Giants could just go into a slump here, man. I've seen it happen before, and I don't know. They're prone for it. They're definitely prone.
Well, a lot of us have confidence in our own teams here. That's something we can at least bank on each week.
Well, we've been disappointed so many times, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Now, during the weekend, I'm definitely going cheap at quarterback, but I think if you want to use one of the higher-priced options, a guy with a great matchup, Carson Palmer, going up against the San Francisco 49ers this week. Palmer's price has jumped up ridiculously here in the last couple weeks. But, granted, he is going against San Francisco here, 27th against quarterbacks, giving up fantasy points.
That's so weird though, because they allow a ton of pass, or they don't allow that many passing yards though. It's weird, man.
They have had some unbelievably dominant wins this year. Bruce Arians got the boys doing the right thing every week. Well, except for the 2 weeks that they lost, But this is a great matchup here against San Francisco. Division matchup, I don't really give a crap. Arizona's favored by 10 on the road in this one. That should say a lot to you as well. Load up Carson Palmer if you need to. I think on the late slate, like a 4 o'clock only kind of slate or a 4 o'clock to the primetime slate, I think Palmer's your guy right there, especially where you can use a ton of money. But if we're going the entire slate from Sunday to Monday night, I'm going to use some of the cheaper options. And I have like 4 sleepers that I'm going to bust out here real quick in the next segment. But, Sweet, who's your lock this week?
Yeah, I'm just going to, I'm going to ride or die with my team. My lock this week's Phillip Rivers. I don't think he's going to have another week like he did last week. The matchup's good. The Chargers suck. All their receivers are hurt. I don't think Phillip Rivers cares. They're terrible. They're 2-8, and I don't think Phillip Rivers really cares. I think he's going to look at the Jaguars on the schedule and say, I always beat this team. Why am I going to lose them tomorrow? He's going to come out, and I think he's going to have a very good game. I don't, Stevie Johnson, Dontrell Inman, guy they picked up off the practice squad who I don't really want to learn his name because I'm not going to root for him next year anyways. Antonio gets on one leg. I don't know who it's going to be, but he's going to get it done. Lock it up.
I love your thing there. It's like, I don't even feel like learning your name because I'm going to be disassociated with this whole franchise next year. Don't even worry about it. But no, I mean, when we were talking earlier and you were talking about Rivers, and I just kept saying, receivers suck, receivers suck, receivers suck. You did bring up a good point where it's like, all right, I'm Phillip Rivers. We're playing the Jaguars this weekend. Watch me roar. That could make sense. It definitely could make sense, especially in my season league where I got him. And I got to choose between him and Roethlisberger at CenturyLink. I think you made it a little harder of a decision.
Right on. Well, I'm
just saying it for the show to keep it interesting.
Yeah, it seems long.
There, gentlemen.
What's up?
Who you guys got for sleepers? I think we nailed the locks down.
You want to kick it off?
I've already given my sleepers. I got 2 quarterbacks. I'm only playing 2 quarterbacks. It's Hoyer and Cousins.
I'll tell you what, Al. I'm just gonna let you know my sleeper would have been Hoyer. So go ahead, man. Hit it off with us.
He was my 4th, but I got 3 here. I got
my 4th.
I got a lot of sleepers this week. All right, so number 1, Russell Wilson going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, you know me, love to look at these Vegas lines. Did you know 95% of the bets are with the Pittsburgh Steelers this week? That is stupid crazy. That means Seattle's going to run this shit up. I know Thomas Rawls has been a big part of their offense when Marshawn Lynch isn't in, but Pittsburgh's not that great against the pass this year. So, I think Russell Wilson can definitely get it done with his feet in this one, too. That's the main thing that I look at here. Again, Pittsburgh 24th against quarterbacks this year in fantasy purposes, so that's not a bad play at all right there. Wilson comes in at 6,000. I also got now 2 rookies. They went back-to-back in the draft at the top of the draft this year. My boy, Famous Jameis, going into Indianapolis this week, 5,500, and his draft compadre, Marcus Mariota, he's going up against Oakland. Now, Indy is 23rd against quarterbacks fantasy-wise. Oakland 28th against quarterbacks fantasy-wise. I think both of these guys are kind of tremendous plays. I like Russell Wilson a little more than both of these guys, but definitely Jameis Winston. I mean, look, what's interesting is that I think it's only happened 3 times in NFL history, and it happened twice in the same season where rookie quarterbacks threw touchdowns in one game, and how great is that? That it was the two quarterbacks at the top of the draft this year with Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota. So definitely very cool. I like both of their matchups this week. I feel like Winston and Mariota are probably going to be in the same point range, but I think Russell Wilson is just a tick above those guys.
Right on. Good points. Good points. Anything else?
For quarterbacks, I am done.
That's all. My sleepers are already out. My sleepers are locks, baby. These two, I'm telling you, man. These two, I'm seeing a big day. But I also said Stafford was going to have a big day last week. So.
Hey, it happens. It happens to the best of us. All right, running backs. Who's leading this rally?
Go ahead, Christopher. The Chris Sweet.
All right, so if I got to do this,
yeah, you do. That's part of the show.
Oh man, I think, I'm the opposite of you, Wags. I did all my research for Thursday, man.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna have to go.
We gotta get our shit together, fellas.
We do.
It's a holiday weekend.
It's no excuse. We should be on it. All right. Go ahead, Chris.
I'm gonna go with Rawls. I'm gonna go with Thomas Rawls.
Thomas Rawls, and why? Why Rawls?
Because he's cheap. He ran for 1 billion yards last week. Marshawn Lynch ain't coming back anytime soon, it sounds like. Sports earning all that crap. And I think they, I don't know, I have a feeling that they're going to run the ball more than pass the ball in this game. And I don't know, he just looked good. I mean, he's cheap. Hopefully he's not Sharkhandrick West and Devontae Freeman from last week. Because, we really should have just done a whole hour on how terrible last week was, but that's not really helping anybody. So
yeah, not at all.
Nobody wants to hear three guys bitch and moan about how their lineup sucked all weekend.
Yeah.
If we got to go with a running back, let's talk about Doug McMahon. I was trying to give him a nickname in the midst of doing that, but Doug Martin.
You gave him an Irish man name.
I did. Well, we can go with a couple locks here. I do like Doug Martin this week, and the reason I like him as a lock, the price is unbelievably cheap. Coming in here on DraftKings, $5,800 going into Indy. Again, this is another line that the public has heavy influence on. I hate the fact that everybody is on the Buccaneers this week, and I never ever liked that. But I don't really give a shit fantasy-wise because Doug Martin should run all over this Indy team. And speaking about bitching and moaning, I think you guys heard me plenty at the beginning of the year talk about, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't have an offensive line, blah, blah, blah. They fixed that shit up real quick on the fly. They are one of the best offensive lines now in the game. Indy has nobody that scares me on defense. So, and, Doug Martin last week, what did he do, 230 plus and no touchdowns?
Yeah, no big deal.
No big deal. I look for him to get in the end zone this week. Listen, Tampa Bay, they've been playing a lot of great team ball, so maybe Winston can get his passes down near the end zone or something like that and let Doug get in the end zone. But, hell, hey, called Charles Sims last week. He got in the end zone. That was dope. Hey, a dog steps in shit every now and again. Right on.
Well, speaking of dog shit, the Baltimore Ravens have a running back that is producing some good numbers, especially last week. Javaris Allen. This guy, I think this guy, he got 16 points for you on DraftKings last week, 16 and a half rather. I think he's going to do big things against the Cleveland Browns rushing defense this week. We all know how terrible they are. Again, there's no one to tote the ball in Baltimore. However, every time I've picked Forsett this year, Joe Flacco, not every time, the two times I elected to take Forsett, Joe Flacco has somehow gotten to the end zone those two times running the ball. So hopefully, the Wagner wire does not jinx this Baltimore Ravens backfield to where they do not get into pay dirt. However, I just think, up in Cleveland, they got to win. Baltimore, to salvage any pride, this is a division game, man. I don't think anybody's going to take it away from the Cincinnati Bengals, and I don't think Baltimore is getting to the get into the playoffs. So we can just go ahead and call this the toilet bowl between these two teams. Cleveland Browns, obviously, with the news coming out this weekend, not to go back, this week, not to go back into negative stuff with Johnny Manziel, but it's just a debacle there in Cleveland. I think Baltimore, without Joe Flacco having a good year this year, I think they got to get busy running the ball. I think they just want to get into Cleveland and get out. Look for him to run the ball big and heavy. I see Javaris Allen having a good day, especially cheap, man. He's very, very cheap. He's not going to cost you much. I think 4,600 on DraftKings, as a matter of fact.
And you get to have yourself a late night bat here.
A late night bat. Yes, you do.
I have the late night bat. That's what she said. All right. Anybody else? Oh, yeah, we're on super running back. So, sweet. Who do you like here as a sleeper?
Yeah, I love Buck Allen as a sleeper. I didn't really have a lock, but I got a lot of sleepers. I really like Alfred Blue as well against that terrible New Orleans defense at 4,500. And I also really like Ronnie Hillman at 4,000 in the late night game against New England. I think that they will run the ball to try to keep that game at their pace.
All right. I mean, you said you had a couple, so who else?
Buck Allen, Alfred Blue, Ronnie Hillman.
All right.
That's a couple, right?
I thought you had four, like I had quarterbacks. You know?
Spencer Ware, I'll throw Spencer Ware in there if Shark Hendrick's out at 3,800. I mean, there's a lot of cheap guys this week that I like.
He is not a sleeper in terms of, I guess, price and talent, but I'm pretty sure that everybody's forgotten about him. Chris Ivory this week going against the Dolphins. Dolphins have been absolutely horrendous against the run this season, and it's stupid because, they paid like $2 gajillion to go get Donkey Kong Sue. Not working out too well.
What happens when you spend all your money on one free agent?
Yeah, and especially on the D-line because, they win championships. But yeah, I think Chris Ivory this week in the Meadowlands could get busy all night long. And we forgot about Danny Woodhead. Why not, right? 5,200. If you like Philly Rivers this weekend, not a bad compliment for your flex play. So let's get it on. Jacksonville's going to be slinging that ball around too. So nobody gives it.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt.
Everybody's going to be in that pool up on the upper deck in Jacksonville watching this game. Nobody really gives a crap. Let these guys just sling it around.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I got no quarrels with that. I got no beef with that, Johnny.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? But a guy that I got to have, especially because he's the only thing that's going on in Buffalo with all that beef going there with the Buffalo Bill. I mean, give me some Buffalo chicken wings. That ain't even beef, dog. Anyhow, I'm telling you, this guy, LaShawn McCoy, you guys remember his name? Shady? Remember this dude? LaShawn McCoy?
Shady.
Who?
He got busy last week. 24.3 3 points on DraftKings. We've seen it. There's not much, offense going on with the Buffalo Bills. Sammy Watkins is kind of coming up lame, which is just very disappointing, coming out of that tremendous, talented wide receiver core from Clemson. LaShawn McCoy, has just been a breath of fresh air for the Rex Ryan, who is known, notorious for his rushing game. Well, it's finally start to happen, in Buffalo. T-Mobile kind of banged up a little bit. Look for them to lean heavy on LaShawn McCoy. I see him, having another big week this week with a 20-plus game on DraftKings.
All right. I'm done with running backs. That should do it. Wide receivers. Now, Wags, I know you were talking about your boy Hoyer. We got Nuke in the building. That was my lock of the week. We are going up against the New Orleans Saints here. I believe the over-under is 48 or 47.5 or something along those lines. But this should be an absolutely monster day. We saw what Odell Beckham did against this Saints team. We saw what plenty of receivers have done.
So is that consensus? I mean, Chris, is DeAndre, is Nuke your number one wide receiver, your lock?
100%.
100, yeah, right on, right.
Lock, yeah,
there it is, man. We can all talk about this. We can knock this out, man. This is This guy, man. Go ahead. Yeah, take it out. I mean,
I got Odell Beckham Jr. too with another lock of mine. Especially
right on.
since I'm gonna be paying not much for a quarterback this week. Definitely want to spend up at wide receiver, and there's also a lot of good cheap running back options as well. So we would definitely go that route. All right.
Nuke averages 25 points a game in FanDuel. DraftKings. In DraftKings, 25 points a game. Get him in. Why are we even having a debate? He's a lock, man. Get him in there.
Basically, because the 1 week I did have him, he played Miami, and
Get him in there. New Orleans Saints the New Orleans Saints are allowing 314 yards through the air. That's only through the air.
No big deal. No big deal.
Yeah, it's Nuke. He's gonna blow up. I'm telling you, Nuke. Go get it.
Good play on words. Good sound effects. Sweet. You got any other locks at wide receiver?
Yeah, I'm going to go crazy like we talked about earlier. I think Antonio Brown's a lock also.
Right.
I don't care about the Legion of Boom. Those guys are not what they used to be. And he's not running along at the outside of Richard Sherman. He gets open wherever he wants to. Dude's matchup proof. I think you got Ben in there throwing the ball. I think he's another guy. You're going to have some money that you can spend on Nuke and another guy. And you guys saw my little lineup earlier. I'm definitely going with Nuke and Antonio Brown this week.
All right. Well, I'm with Al here. I'm taking OBJ over Antonio Brown. I know the Legion of Boom is not what they used to be, but they're still very tall defensive backs that can create problems on wide receivers. No matter, I don't care how fast they are. You can I have seen Randy Moss and I've seen Antonio Brown run away from 3 people before in coverage. So, I mean, Antonio Brown, if anybody is going to do it, it's going to be this guy. However, I think I'm going to have my stock invested in Odell Beckham Jr. I just think that this guy's going to go up against the go off against the Washington Redskins. I foresee a barn burner here. It's going to be a typical slugfest in the NFC East, man, between two teams that just hate each other. Right down the stretch in 95 Interstate 95. Look for these two to get busy. The Giants are coming to play, down there at what I wish was still RFK, but it's not.
Landover, Maryland.
I'm telling you, Landover, Maryland. FedEx Field, right? Isn't that what the Redskins play at now? I believe it's FedEx.
Yep.
But that's a great stadium too, man. It's so big. It's so
juicy,
loud, man. It's tremendously loud, man. But I can definitely see a slug out here. It's got to be a barn burner, man. It's going to be 2 passing offenses that are just going off all day long.
All freaking long. And yeah, I mean, you look at the spread in this one, 2.5 in favor of the Giants. I mean, projected to be pretty close here. So we can just go back and forth with this all day long, and that's what we want in fantasy. We want that. Cue the porn music, because it's going to be a good one. All right, let me get into, I guess we'll start with the sleepers now for the wide receivers. J.J. Nelson of the Arizona Cardinals. I'm talking about Carson Palmer as my lock at quarterback. Well, this guy, the minimum, the bare freaking minimum there on DraftKings, and he put up a nice game. Now, this play is contingent on whether or not Mike Floyd is out of this game. That was that is the whole reason that Nelson did well last week. If Floyd is in, then completely nix this play. But it does look like the Cardinals are going to be kind of cautious with Floyd since they have a nice, soft cushion here for the division lead. But, at the bare bone minimum of this one, Nelson, look, he's basically going to be a slot guy. We've got Fitzy. We got the other Brown there in Arizona. So this guy will just complement nicely. Arizona, what's messed up is that Arizona has too many weapons.
I don't know if any team can have too many weapons, but they are.
For fantasy,
they got enough weapons for you to be like, really, bro? I don't even care if you all get hurt. You know what I mean? It's just like.
I'm saying for fantasy purposes.
You take one out, you plug them in. So if CK2 or Chris Johnson CJ2K goes down and he can't produce or whatever, Now you got Ellington to step in, who is,
Right.
projected number 2 or a second-round pick this year in traditional fantasy leagues. Arians has built himself a little masterpiece.
Yeah, they talked a lot about that on the NBC game last week when they played Cincinnati. Just, where this Cardinals team was, maybe like a decade ago. I mean, this was the laughingstock of the league, and now they have built
5 years ago
themselves.
they were in the Super Bowl, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, they had the 1 year, but I'm just saying, like, perennially, they were pretty damn
Yeah, they're built now. They're built to sustain now.
Yeah, they got the new stadium and everything. They have the only stadium in the league where they wheel the grass in, where they grow it outside. Right. So, definitely interesting though. All right, any other plays at the wide receiver position?
Yeah, I got. We're gonna go sleeper. I'm gonna intertwine and mesh my sleeper wild card together here, just because this guy is a wild card, man. He does it to us when I say us, I am talking about the New York Giants. He does it to us every time he plays us. Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson just tears it. He's the thorn in our side, man. He tears us up. He's the deep threat for the Washington Redskins, and he's healthy. Not to mention the other guy on the other side of that field, Pierre Garçon, is healthy as well, which can also allow Deshaun Jackson to stretch the field vertically, because he's not going to be able to get double teamed as much as the Giants would want to because of multiple threats in this Redskins offense. Kirk Cousins, I mentioned earlier, he's poised to have a tremendous day against this Giants passing defense. Also, I don't want to give away our tight ends here, but there's a guy out here that is just going to tear up the New York Giants, and I just think that this guy is going to take so much attention from Deshaun Jackson. It's just going to allow Deshaun Jackson to have an 80-yard quick hitter, man. I see it. I've seen it every year. It doesn't matter what color this guy is wearing, green or burgundy. Deshaun Jackson knows how to torch the big blue. It just happens.
Ron Burgundy.
I'm Ron Burgundy. No, I'm telling you, man.
All right, sweet. Cap us off here with the receivers.
Yeah, my sleeper is going to go hand in hand with my lock at quarterback. I got to go with Stevie Johnson at 4,500. He's had double-digit points the last 2 games without getting to the end zone. I think he's getting in the end zone this week, maybe twice, and that's the guy that I really like at 4,500.
Very cheap.
I love that Deshaun Jackson call, though, Wags. I love that Deshaun Jackson call.
Yeah, so does Deshaun Jackson.
I like that Stevie Johnson call.
Right on, man.
And I like the Deshaun. Quick, somebody tell me you love a pick of mine, please.
I love your pick. I love it. I love it.
All right, that it for receiver suite?
I'm good, man.
All right, we got 2 more positions, and then we are out of here to dream about turkey. Tight ends this week.
I got to do German. Sorry, I got German work to do still.
All done?
Yeah, no, not yet. I still
all
got
right. What's what I'm saying? All right, so, Wags, you want to kick us off with tight ends?
Absolutely. I alluded to it a little bit earlier, just a second ago. Jordan Reed. We beat the dead horse every time, man. The Giants defense, they can't cover the tight ends. They did hold Gronkowski, for the better part of the game, and then, of course, as Giants do, they allow the big play. So, Gronk goes for 80 yards down the middle of the field. This big ball of Ben should not be running away from people like this. Throwing people down, too, man. Anyways, they don't have to deal with Gronkowski. They got to deal with a more this guy has just got fast speed, dude. And he's silky smooth, man. Jordan Reed's just got some nice hands. I really believe he's going to give some difficulty, he's going to create difficulty with the Giants linebacking core, who just can't cover a tight end anyways. Not to mention one of the elite tight ends in the game today. Well, let's see. Yeah, you got Gronk. You got Olsen. You got Eifert. Kelsey every now and then. Graham. Where the hell did you go? And then you got Jordan Reed. This guy. I'm sorry, big game Gary, but
Thank you. I was just about to say, don't forget my man Gary Barnage.
Big game Gary Barnage. But I'm telling you, Jordan Reed, he's a monster. He's gonna have a monster day with this Redskin offense against this Giants defense.
I like it. Okay, sweet. That's your boy, big game.
No, I can't go with this week. I gotta go with Delaney Walker. You mentioned Mariota earlier. That's a real nice matchup. That might have been your guy too. Oakland been bad against tight end, except when Eric Ebron's playing against him and can't catch a damn touchdown. Delaney Walker has been really good, really this whole season, but last few weeks in general. He had 21.9 last week, 30.5 a few weeks before that. I think it's a real good matchup for him. They don't really have a true number one there right now, so I think he's the guy that's going to see the most targets and the most catches.
All right, yeah, I mean, you guys took both of my locks, but that's cool. Don't worry about it. All good.
Hey, man, it's Thanksgiving. Be thankful.
It's Thanksgiving.
I'm thankful I took your lock.
I really don't have a sleeper at tight end, so I'll just go to the wild card. Tyler Eifert. Rams 24th against the tight end position. And, the thing I like about this game is, now that we're getting a little deeper into the NFL season, obviously it starts getting colder, starts getting a little more windy. Yep. So, maybe a guy like A.J. Green gets phased out of the offense on deep balls. But
he's been phased out of the offense all year. So,
yeah, but, it's time for short passes and whatnot. Right. And again, St. Louis not that great against the tight end position, but they are against wide receivers. So this might be a spot where Eifert has one of those 2 touchdown games that he's been absolutely famous for this year. I mean, he's had some absolute monster performances this year.
When he goes off, it's go off time, dude.
I believe he's tied for the league lead in touchdowns as well, if I'm not mistaken. But again, Eifert can go off at any moment, and we are praying to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, that he does on Sunday.
Baby Jesus.
Thank you, baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus.
All right, that leaves us with the defenses, unless anybody has any more tight ends. I think we're done, though, right? We all kind of had a consensus. Were you there that we all have? It's like, I just want to get the hell out of here. All good. All right, so tight ends. I'm not too giddy about any of these, but sweet Wags, if we're going to be going with our system of, cheap defenses, we've been trying this experiment the last couple weeks. I think there's a couple on the board that we can work with, or are we going with a more expensive defense here?
Well, I'm going to go about right in the middle. I'm going to go with a defense that's 2,500, and I'm not letting anybody talk me out of it this week. The Bay Tampa Buccaneers are going to do it, man. I mean, there you go. Put the captain hat on, put a cigar in your mouth, put an eye patch on. I don't care what you got to do to be a Buccaneer. But I mean, the defense is just. They're on it, man. Another defensive touchdown last week. You mentioned, I mean, these guys are coming to play here. For 2,500, man, they get you at least 10 points or anywhere between 7 to 10 points. They're never going to let you down. I don't see them getting tore up this week at all. So.
Yeah. Now, since I am the resident Tampa Bay Buccaneers advisor here on the panel. I mean, look, I'm just as surprised as anybody else going right now. This secondary is pretty bad, but at least when you get a pass rush going, it masks what's going on back there in the secondary.
I mean, you said it yourself. You're going to put Matt Hasselbeck on the cover of an article.
Yeah. Well, I have to. I mean, look, every time that I pick an opposing quarterback to basically do something nice against the Buccaneers, they just shit the bed. So Sanchez, it was Matt Ryan a couple weeks ago. I mean, it's just common knowledge. I think Drew Brees I had in week 2. Like, this is just common knowledge going on here. But I also like to call it reverse psychology, so we can go with that as well.
Right.
This hat is dope. This hat is dope. I gotta get one in real life.
Please send me one. Can you
do.
Put me on your Christmas list?
It's like from Step Brothers, where that chick at the end is like, he wears the shit out of that hat, though.
Brendan does wear the shit out of that hat.
Oh, man. All right, sweet. Who you got for defense this week?
I like the Kansas City Chiefs at 2,600 against the Bills. They've been really, really strong the last couple weeks on defense, and I don't see anything besides Shady. I don't see anything that Buffalo's going to throw at them that they're not going to be able to handle.
Yeah, it's just a shady show. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's it.
It's just a shady show.
Just shady, baby.
Now, if we're looking statistically, I mean, all right, let me go first with who I like. I like Cincinnati this week. They're favored by 9. They're favored by 9 points, and we got a very low total there at 42. Obviously, maybe it is Nick Foles that'll be back, but whatever. I don't like whatever's going on with the St. Louis offense. I mean, and by the way, Stedman Bailey got shot in the head twice late last night.
Oh, my God.
That's insane. But he's still alive, so that's crazy.
Did he really?
So, yeah, definitely.
There was kids in the car and everything, man.
Yeah, prayers definitely go out to him, the family. But, Cincinnati here on defense, they're in a good spot, at least if we're looking at the Vegas lines. But also, if you really want to go cheap, San Diego, not too bad here, going to Jacksonville, sweet. I know you like that. But 2,300.
Oh, my God, no.
I mean, they're projected to get 9 points this week, so it's not the worst idea in the world. I mean, yeah, there are.
God, it's a pretty bad idea.
There are worse plays, like going with like the New Orleans defense. I thought that was a good idea one week, probably cost me $1 million, but
Raiders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking on defense.
It's the Bucs defense, man. Take the Bucs.
No, but you know what's going to happen? I'm going to play the Tampa Bay defense, and they're going to give up 45 points. So
don't play the Tampa Bay defense. Let me play the Tampa Bay defense.
Fine, I won't do it. All right, gentlemen, that does it for the show. Obviously, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays to you all and your
I'm
happy Thanksgiving to you,
to
fellas.
have you two dipshits as my colleagues. I am so thankful to have you guys, man. My life, seriously, man. This past 6 months has just been an awesome ride, man. Al, Chris, without you two in it, it just wouldn't be the same. And never, wherever I go, you guys will be with me. So, and I hope, I hope we just continue to grow, man. It's gonna be great.
I couldn't agree more. You can call me Captain Dipshit.
Yeah, Captain Dipshit and his first tape.
But, I mean, you're absolutely right.
I'll dock with you guys any day.
It has been very awesome. And you're right. I mean, I don't know what I'd be doing, man. I'd probably be selling drugs on the street. Shit.
That's what I'm talking about. Take me back.
TFS, you saved my life. Thank you so much.
Took me back.
Yes, sir, man. Anyway,
Key.
happy Thanksgiving to, from mine to yours.
Indeed.
For sure. And to our viewers watching, man, may your, have a happy Thanksgiving. Remember those that can't have a meal with their families. That needs to be said. There's people out there that don't have a meal. Be thankful that you're not, be thankful that you're not rolling alone, and try and take a moment to remember and appreciate the ones that allowed you to have those type of meals.
For sure. All right, we will be back Sunday morning for the NFL Kickoff Show. We are the Big 3 DFS. Peace.